Alright, welcome back. Hope you all have had a good day. I've had a good day. It's now evening. Got some dinosaur love in with Jurassic Park. And now it's time to settle in and do some fishing. Definitely on this account, maybe on my main account as well. We'll see. Well, there's a couple of rough orders, but I actually am going for sort of a hybrid between rough and white bream here. We're using, I think, 20 and then two 18 hooks, so a little larger than normal hook size with worms, because I'm just curious here, as the night hasn't quite started yet, it's like late afternoon, early evening, curious if we will see some decent marker bream in this spot, white bream in this spot. But if we do catch rough, that's okay too, because there's a couple of orders that we could fill, but I'm not worried about it if we don't. My hope is to fish for whatever's biting in this spot overnight, and then early in the morning, that's a little white bream. Early in the morning, go see if we can't get a jump and really see if we can't get some early morning roaches going on. All right, so we have had a couple of comments, even though it hadn't been that long since the last last video. Let's see. Somebody was asking about the clip on that carp spot at Amber. That's a 40-meter clip on that last carp spot I showed. Rasmus, again on that 24-kilo common carp video I posted, commented that that is not a small boy that you have, mate, and that's true. That was a nice comment. And Gray Cow commented, LOL, I was looking for, oh, yeah, because I was fishing from Gray Cow's spot here on Mosquito, where he was trying to get, well, that's depressing. I really wonder what that was. I guess it was probably a bream. You should honestly never reel that aggressively when something's pulling like that. Anyway, Gray Cow says, I was looking for a white bream when I hit that spot and got mad for getting chub, but got recognized for them. By the way, nice roach spot. At least it's a good place for quick and easy roach orders. And most were markers. Yeah, they were. It was a high percentage of markers, especially when it went in the middle of the day. I did catch the white bream for over 300 grams, being over 600 gram. By the way, I was using bream ground bait. Okay, very good. Very good. And then Peter Bazus, very interesting post that is tempting me to go try it at Old Berg, but I think we're going to stay at Mosquito, at least for now. We'll see how long this episode goes, but mentioned that at 37.57, which is around that same area where we were fishing for the eel and pinch, sort of right outside the fort there. Well, the message was, found a nice bait combination at Old Berg, which is pretty good for tench, gibbles, and crucians. If you have unlocked boilies, you should try to combine bloodworm tin plus redworm tin with wild honey dip, which that sounds awesome. I've definitely fished with those types of boilies before, and to get small, big versions of smaller fish. And then he says, he or she, I think it's he, Peter, my absolute favorite is Cocos and Cream 12 to 16 and Wild Honey Dip. It's efficient in the rainy afternoons and mornings. 8-meter clip. P.S. Your videos are cool. Thank you, Peter. Appreciate it. Thanks for sharing that knowledge with us. And like I said, I may do it. We'll see. So the white bream are starting to come out. What would happen if we throw pearl barley on this right now? Let's just try for a minute. I'm not super worried about getting the... oh my gosh, I'm out of fake bream mix. Do I have the ingredients to make it? Can I remember what the ingredients were? It's millet porridge and maggots and sunflower oil. All right. I'm just wondering if these white bream are good on on pearl barley, or if they are preferring worms, basically. I don't know. I mean, I don't feel like I've gotten dialed in at all on the white bream. We're catching a lot of sub markers on worm. And yet, at least in some spots, they are apparently coming out pretty juicy. So chub? What? And I don't expect we're going to catch rough on the pearl barley. So, like, with the small hook, you would think it's going to be white bream, but it could be a small regular bream. I don't know. That is a rough right there. Seriously. So we're still catching those white bream. Let's see, I think there was a white bream order, right? Let's see what the size was. But we are going to switch over to our roach spot just for science. Pretty early. Oh man, we can already frickin' do that, huh? I mean, it doesn't matter. They're all, none of them are markers. That's 23 silver for nothing. We'll be able to get this order, but it's not worth much. We're a couple away from that order. We're not going to get this order because we're not going to stay there long enough. I'm not convinced that the regular bream are biting enough right now to get a trophy, at least in the spot that I know about. So So I think we're kind of good on cafe order, especially if we could finish this rough order real quick. That'd be nice. If nothing's on this pearl barley yet, we're going to switch it back to worm. I think pearl barley might have been okay earlier. I don't know about now. Well, if that's a rough, it's a ginormous one. It's a nice one. Definitely over 45 if that had been a rough. So the white bream are still coming in, but not on the pearl barley. So strike one. What about the red worm? I have a feeling. Yeah, these white bream are everywhere right now. It's amazing. I mean, if you go back to when we first started fishing rough on this account in this spot or close to this spot, we never were catching white bream, or hardly. And even from the either other bank, but this bank especially, you just slowly seen them move in. Regular bream. Alright, there's red worms for the first one. Let's make sure it's actually on. Yeah, it's on. Well, hey, if that's a white bream, we're in business. That's all I'm saying. Alright, let's give red worm one more chance, because those bream are occasionally biting on regular worm as well. We're so lucky on that white bream order to be able to get 20 whatever silver off of, you know, non-marker white bream. I love coffee. It's just sad when it's almost gone, you know. Got to get psyched up for this roach. I really think I want to start off maybe with peas straight across. 3 different hook sizes, all roach ground bait, and all using peas. I really want to try to dance with that trophy roach, you know what I mean? We're close to inline. Well, we're not. We've got 5.6% to go, but I'm just saying that's the next thing we'll hit, which is pretty cool. It's kind of drying up on us. We may not hit that rough order after all. Okay. Well, this is an interesting size fish. Oh, it's a rough. Hey, we're just, what, 1 away now? From the smaller sized order. That's a white. A garbage white, too. I don't know how to make these whites bigger, at least in this spot. A little bigger hook, maybe? Different ground bait? Different bait? It might just not be in the cards. That was only 3 months ago. Sweet dough, huh? What if we did put sweet dough in right here? What would happen? Let's get that rough order done first, though. Or try to. All right, come on. We need you to hit now. If it's a rough, we're done. It's a white. Nope, it's a bream. Just sitting there, huh? It's too small. Wow. It's a white. It's a nice white. Hey, there we go. There we go. All right, let's put it back in one more time. Hold on. Yeah, we're still not getting there. All right, let's go. Let's go get rough. Let's go get roach in the water. Oh, wow. That was weird. Okay. We want to go right about here. And we want to go okay, roach 6, 8, 11. Or 4, 6, 8. I think we go 6, 8, 11. Alright, we want to go down to 11 clip. Actually, let's go 10 clip. I think I was liking 10 clip. Don't overcast it too far. You'll pop it back up onto the shore. And then 8. Clip. Perfect. Okay. We are here for early morning. Wish there was a way to make sure where the lines are, but... Okay. Looks pretty good. Could go to 11, I guess, but it looks pretty good. Alright, let's see what we can do here. Oh, wait. That rough order was ending soon, too, wasn't it? Or the first one was. It's really sad to have to do that, but that's 27 silver, and we're not going to be getting this one anyway. So I think that's the right play. So 6, 8, 11, all the same ground bait and bait. Can't see the water, can't hardly see if the line's moving. It's a little bit of a rough deal, but if we don't even get like close to a trophy here, then I might not try this again. But if it feels like, you can kind of feel when a trophy's coming, like if you're getting some bigger sizes close to it. Alright, let's see what's on the 11. Something's on the 6 now too. Alright, that's a good one. We want to see some bigger ones, but that's a good start. So it feels like we're in a good spot in terms of where we're casting. We had pretty quick bites there on 2 of the rods. Garlic dough, huh? We do need to finish getting to garlic dough. Man, 2 months ago, somebody caught a huge common off night crawlers. That must have been terrifying if they weren't ready for it. I don't know what level that person is, but maybe they were ready for it. Maybe they were trying for it. Alright, so all 3 rods all got pretty similar size roaches. Oh, interesting. A crucian off peas. I think that's the first crucian we've seen off peas in this spot, right? Hey, that's what I'm talking about. You start to just feel it. That sucker was over a kilo, and it was a roach. That is a roach. Alright, I'm going to not eat food if I can remember, and let it go down a little bit, and then go get my free food here at Mosquito. So far, the biggest roach came in on the big hook. A lot of like 300 to 400 kilo ones, it seems like. I'm not sure if that third line has a fish on it or if it's just slanted like that. There we go. I'm glad I waited. Well, that's a small one. Is that a real bite? Yeah, it's moving. Again, just kind of hard to see in this spot. That's also a small one. It's 7 a.m. It's trophy hour. Come on, let's go. Let's see how much a 1 kilo roach is worth. 4.25 silver, not bad. If you could put together several of those, start to be in business. None of the weekly white bream have been caught here, right? Let's check all the servers. You never know. Like, those aren't that big for weeklies, right? There you go. See, that's a worm, though. Okay. Alright, so the last one we've checked is USA. It's a decent one. Okay. Maybe we want to throw a little more to the left. Now that I see that that went in. Crucian. Roach. A little more to the left. Oh, that looks like a good bite. Yeah. At least 400 grams, right? Yeah, almost 500. All right, now we've got ground bait on all of them again. I know I've said this before, but I really like doing one stack of ground bait on all three. Unless you just absolutely know you're going to be somewhere for a long time. Just keeps your ground bait inventory a lot more organized. All right, let's check one more while we're waiting on that to go off. Let's go Poland. White bream. Sweet dough. And let's try France. Sweet dough, guys. We need to try sweet dough on these white bream. Wet bread. Just don't complicate the issue. We want to try sweet dough. See, I just would not think trophy white bream on bread or sweet dough. Usually bread gets so quiet at night. That's what we were seeing at Old Berg too. Sweet dough was showing up some at Old Berg. It's weird. Quick bites here. Is that line moving? Let's give it a second. All right, what's after Poland? We did France, Poland and France, China. No mosquito. Other. And I can tell you right now, it won't be Germany or Russia. Germany or Russia, all of them will be on Old Berg. 100%. Or I should say 95%. Okay. What is going on here? 9 quicksilver there. We're almost up to 1,000 now. Another 100 silver will be over 1,000 silver. Okay. Fairly chunky one. Okay. It's about to hit noon. I just don't think it's going to happen, you know? All right, let's go try.
Wow.
Let's go try 5546. Have I showed y'all this spot before? This is one of those spots that kind of rotates in. It's hard to hit 5546 exactly. All right. So let's go with, this is what we want to do. Let's see if we can't figure out some carp here. Let's go with a large 4. No, let's go with a carp 5. Nah, let's go with a carp 4. Let me think. Yeah, let's go with a carp 4 and potatoes. And we'll do a 6-meter clip. Let's see where this ends up. Well, that's fine. And then we also want to see, I think same thing here. Peas for roach. But this one I'm thinking, let's try maggots. I don't think I've fished at this spot in this series because I don't think I've fished at this spot in a long time. But basically, we're throwing at the driftwood there, right? And the other thing we want to try here, let's see if we can get the common carp biting at all. Because the other thing we could do is we could try, if the common carp are biting on potatoes, we could also try putting on a carp rig and going for like trophy gibble crucians and then occasionally getting common carp on it, like a small boilie. You know, like there's certain flavors like I don't know, different ones that sometimes the trophy gibbles and crucians come out on. And so it would just be like picking one that we think might catch crucian or gibble, but that would also have a chance for carp. So spice mix, that's not really the perfect example. Alright, looks like we've got, I think something's on the maggots, right? Oh, that's cool. We have not caught enough Chinese sleepers in this series, have we? Is that where I cast it, or did the bait get moved? I don't feel like the bait was over there. We'll let it sit for a minute. If nothing happens, we'll probably recast that one. I want to make sure it's not snagged. What boilies do we have? Because we bought some, right? So spicy cherry. The like red worm boilies, the vanilla boilies, the caramel, cinnamon, whatever. All those types of boilies, like the small sizes, tend to at times work well with the crucian gibbles, right? We'll see how active this spot is. We're starting at the worst time of day, so if it you know, it may be slow, but it might pick up once it gets to be a little different time. We'll see. This is one of the about like 40 spots mentioned at Mosquito on this Russian website right now. But you never know which ones are really that good. I mean, they get added, and then you'll have a couple of upvotes, and then a lot of times they'll get a bunch of downvotes, and it's like sometimes it just feels like somebody caught one fish somewhere, and they're like, "Oh, this is gonna be a good spot," and they add it for everybody, and then people test it, and they're like, "Actually, it's not that good." All right, so now we've caught a roach and a sleeper on maggots here, and I'm just a little troubled by this one, so let's move it. And we'll just have to see how slow potatoes are. I mean, If it's like 1 bite a day, then that's probably a little too slow, but I think we've got enough line on this that it's gonna, I don't think it's gonna be likely we would get spooled here. So I think we can just go for it at Mosquito. There's no grass carp, we're just talking about commons. Mostly is what we'll catch on the potatoes. Alright, there you go. And that's on maggots. It's weird that peas are so slow here when they were just killing roach in that other spot. Maybe we should try something different. Have any of the record roach ever been caught on peas? That wasn't that long ago, and that's cornmeal porridge. I don't think we can make that yet, though. Pea porridge, we're not quite to that either. Cheese would be interesting. But that's not a real recent... Uh-oh. Hold on. Hold everything. What else could it be besides a really fat roach? Oh, it's a common. That was a 2.1 common. Okay. See, that's a good sign. Oh, now potatoes are going off. You see, the time of day has changed, too. What if it's an 8-kilo common? We got to be in for a long fight. But, again, I don't mind at Mosquito as much. Common carp are great fish to catch if you can get them in. That's not a common. What is that, actually? It is a common. It's so small it didn't look like a common. Alright, that's what we're going for, but we want a bigger one. What do we have? Size 4 hook with potatoes. We should nail it if it's here. I'm really rethinking this, guys. Do we want to stay? It's just so hard. Should our next step be trolling at Quarry? Or should we upgrade another feeder so we can actually feeder fish for a little bit bigger fish? Which is the priority? I mean, we're a quarter of the way to level 16. It's just nice to be on a spot where it feels like common carp might be active enough to actually fish for them at Mosquito. Maybe. It also looks like a spot where tench might move through. That's why I'm wondering if it would be worth trying cheese. We're coming up on possible tench time, you know? Mosquito's never been the best place to target tench, though, because unless they're really hot here, usually they're small tench. Where on Old Berg you can get trophy tench quite readily from a good tench spot. Alright, peas and maggots going off here. Carp should bite through the night. We can leave those potatoes in straight through the night. Trying to think if there nighttime might be the time to like put on trophy crucian or gibble boilies. See if we can get a overnight trophy. Oh, is that a tench? Oh no, it's a crucian. So what we haven't seen out of this spot yet is any gibble activity to even know if we can get them. That's a roach. Nice size roach. Usually where there's crucian, you'll occasionally catch gibel, but some spots definitely seem to favor one or the other. Ooh, that was another strong bite. That thing just flipped back towards us. Look at that roach. That'd be so funny if this is where we caught a trophy roach after trying for so long in that other spot. See, I feel like... Oh, there's a gibel. I feel like maggots is kind of... We're going to catch the most on maggots. Like, over time, that'll probably have the highest bite rate out of these three. But there's the least chance we're going to actually get something really nice on maggots, I would say. Whoa, here we go. Hey. Alright, what size is this? Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. Alright, let's see what's in stock with boilies. Is that common carp worth anything? Yeah, 5 silver. And if you get another kilo or 2 out of it and get the fish in, the money just goes up. Exponentially is a strong word, but it goes up really well. Alright, let me see. It has to be sinking. I feel like vanilla might be worth trying. Ooh, they're out of stock of vanilla 12. And that might be the sweet spot. They've got vanilla cream, but I've never tasted those. I could do vanilla 8, but man, that's some small ones. Like, I feel like 12 is ideal. And then what's the dip? Because we could go try... we could do like wild honey dip with it. I bet you that would work. White chocolate would go with it. I think there's a straight vanilla dip, isn't there? I guess not. We do have those wild cherry boilies. We could try those. We also could just put night crawlers in the water for nighttime. What am I thinking? That would be good as well. Once it gets to actually be nighttime. And then we could check winding for the vanilla 12 at some point. I don't want to settle on vanilla 8. I really like the idea of vanilla 12, I think. We also could look at the red worm boilies. And... hey, it's a gibel. We've got gibels. Alright, I'm moving this one to night crawlers. We'll see how good this spot is. Did you see that bite? That bite just moved from our boilie from here. I mean, our potatoes from here to here. Like, it bounced it. Like, I don't even know if that same fish will be there because it probably scared itself. Something nasty tried to take the potatoes. Night crawlers already are getting a bite. I just want to make sure night crawlers we're going to get something going. We don't want like 3 really slow baits in. And I think eventually we'll have to switch the peas off, but not till probably nighttime, close to midnight. Just should recast those potatoes, right? They're not like fish straight up took them to another zip code. Those night crawlers are still thinking about it. Come on, Diggins. Alright. Come on, night crawlers. Don't let me down. Don't be the spot that the night crawlers don't work in for some reason. Alright. It's a small one. It's still a marker, though. Still exciting. Catching common carps. Thought another one was going off, too. Did it stop? Was this one, right? Yeah, it's still in there. Crucial thing is this going to be a good spot at night for like big crucian or gibbles on the night crawlers, right? There we go. I like this potato frequency bite. Bite of potato frequency. What am I trying to say? So far, 0 bites on the night crawlers. Starting to worry me. Whoa! Whoa, Nelly! Yeah! Another one over a kilo. We're gonna get one eventually. What is that? That's not a common. Oh, that is a common. Tiny Dancer. Should we try a like size, like a large 2 hook? What do we have on there? 4? Yeah, we got a 4 now. We could go with a 2 maybe. At that point, maybe just go with a 1. Do some real carp fishing with our little gear. Might lower the bite rate. And I don't know how good a commons are actually in this water, but I just would love to get even though it'd be a heck of a fight, I'd love to get a really nice common on this spot, on this setup. Yeah, still no bites on Nightcrawler. I'm going to give it a little longer. I mean, maybe they don't really start working until overnight sometimes. I don't know. Sort of sad. Another decent one, I think. This seems like this might be a much better roach spot than the other one. I don't know if I say much better, but I mean, it seems just as good. And yeah, I don't know. We've only got one line in going for the roach here, where we had 3 lines going for the roach in the other spot, but I mean, I'm just gonna recast the night crawlers. I don't want to give up on them, but we got to get something going here with night crawlers, or I'm gonna have to switch baits. Night crawlers are too good to go this long without a bite. Common carp are here. Alright, I'm going to go peas a little longer. We've gotten those really big roach. So that's the interesting thing about peas, is we're getting common carp bites in this spot. I guess if you want to avoid common carp, the other roach spot is better, because we never got common carp there, and we're definitely seeing them here, so. Caught 51 fish. Pretty decent. A lot of them markers, especially if you take off all of the junk. All those tiny white breams we caught in the beginning. Alright. Is that just the peas, or is the night crawlers getting a bite too? Here goes potatoes. Take it. Yeah. Be decent. That's not decent. So honestly, you know, we've got this dream of, hey, night crawlers. There you go. That's a big roach. Another big roach. We've got this dream of catching a nice common carp, but just imagine how much better we'd be doing here. There's a gibble. If we had something besides potatoes on that first rod, you know, like another peas rod. Maybe another night crawlers at this point, since it's so late. Or we could try boilies. I want to try to get... I think this spot is an interesting spot to use boilies. If the boilies are boilies that will attract things like crucian or gibbles. Because you've got those and the common carp that will both be potential fish that you'll catch. So a little higher bite rate than when you're just waiting for a gibble trophy or something. So I think it might be worth at least trying. And we do have, I mean, I can throw it on this middle rod even. Once the peas are no longer catching roach anymore. We'll see what this fish is, but might be worth doing even on this rod. It's another nice roach, if it's a roach. Yeah. Alright, do we go again for roach? I don't want to not catch a big roach on this, so let's go again. Then we'll switch it to boilies, because it'll be after midnight, probably, when the next fish comes in. Yeah, this spot's kind of interesting, though. I'm kind of enjoying this. Cheese would be another thing, obviously, to see about the tench, because you're still going to catch nice roach on cheese. You should. Might even catch a common on cheese occasionally. And then just seeing, like, what's the bite rate here with stuff like bread and worms. I mean, if you're really low level and just starting out, doesn't mean you couldn't try this spot. I think the problem is if common carp are really actually fairly active, sometimes they'll take anything occasionally. But with really small hooks, like, you should be fine. You should be okay. Oh, crap, guys. I'm not always remembering now because I've been playing that Jurassic Park for videos as well. I didn't remember to switch it back. Alright. There's a gibble on night crawlers. And this might just be our last fish on peas here. Yeah, because I don't think roach are going to bite peas. I don't think we're going to catch many roach after midnight. At least that was my experience in that other spot. I'm going to say that that's going to be the case here. All right, let's just see what happens here. This is a little risky on this rod, but we're going to try it. We have to use a 5, huh? All right, cherry. Let's go for it. What can we lose? What can we possibly lose? All right, so we're doing wild cherry boilies with with some kind of cherry dip on there. It's another small common. And we're going to keep potatoes on a little bit longer, and then we might switch to night crawlers on this front rod as well. Oh, what bite was that? Was that night crawlers? Our boilie wasn't getting a bite that fast. I just want to see what, if anything, will go for that boilie at night. See if it's worth getting some vanilla 12s or some red worm 10s or whatever. Caramel 8s. You want to be careful not to start spending too much money on boilies at a low level. But if you're really sort of intentional about it, I think it's good to start experimenting some. Four pieces of red worm. Now, we have not been getting we have not been getting points from digging very much at all anymore. And what are we up to? 31.3. I mean, that's about right. I always feel like around 30%, I stop thinking like, okay, I'm going to keep leveling off digging. Now we're just digging for red worms, really. So that means we need to make... How much sweet dough and porridge do we have? Did we ever make more sweet dough? We could make a little bit more sweet dough. And then we need to make a bunch of semolina. Yeah. Kind of feels like a waste, right? Let's go one more, though. It's just fun. And you probably can, you know, occasionally get a big one. Press cakes. Haven't they temporarily taken them out of the stores? I think they still work, but they're out of the store. Strawberry 15. That was last year, though. Hey, this is first fish on boilies. I almost missed it. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. A big fatty crucian. That's what we're hoping for here. Not too slow a bite rate, and just big old fatty crucians and gibbles. Nani? We have 3 slow baits on, though, don't we? You catch commons throughout the night, but it's going to be just as slow. Probably. I think at night it's really tempting to switch to night crawlers. It doesn't help the bite rate get any faster, but it makes it exciting on what you might catch. Alright, if this isn't at least a marker common carp, we'll definitely switch to night crawlers on this one. Do we have semolina now? We do. Might be interesting to try semolina here as well. Again, maybe a little bit of a slow bait, but feels like a decent chance of trophies. Gray Cow just hit the earthworm jackpot. Alright, boilies are getting another bite. This is exciting. Did nothing ever come in on the potatoes? Nope. Alright, come on. Big money, big money. Not big enough money. It's fine, but... Oh, there goes night crawlers. Speaking of big money. That looks like a solid bite. It's fat, but it's not fat enough for a trophy. But that's a fat one, 1.4 kilos. I like it. I'm going to give those potatoes till 3 a.m. If that bite doesn't come through, or if it's not like head banging all over the place, we're going to switch it for the remainder of the morning. I want to catch a nice common, but we're also wasting our best line right now. And if we get a couple boilie variants going in this spot, we may still occasionally see a common carp, and obviously they may get big on the peas occasionally too. So now I don't know if this approach is right or not. Like, what we're doing is we're trying to like increase our chances for a trophy, right? But if this spot's really hot, you know, you could argue we're better off putting the maggots and bread, maybe worm at night, some of that stuff. Oh, I didn't switch potatoes as soon as I said I was, and now there's a fish on. What is that on potatoes? What is up with that? Potatoes, the new bream meta. So, if you want to really fill up your net here, probably peas, maggots. Maybe you could justify having one like either night crawlers at night or boilies during the day or something. I don't know. But I think you want to have, once it gets to be like 5 a.m., we want to have peas and maggots back on there to just be constantly catching fish. Because really the key to mosquito is you can catch a pretty high rate of trophy crucian gibbles and even different stuff at sometimes, but it's really just like the bite rate, just how it adds up, how it interacts with the cafe. We need to wrap up this episode. Let's get till like at least 7 or 8 a.m. if I can. I kind of want to keep fishing this spot though. I'm sort of having fun trying to figure it out. There you go, boilies. Woo! Dang. I want to see what... kind of want to see what boilies do during the whole day here. But night crawlers are really slow right now in this spot. Now, I don't know about back here. Night crawlers still may be doing really good in that spot back there. But even though they're doing what they're supposed to do, they're just doing it too slowly right now, I feel like. Boilies again. That's the weirdest bite, man. They are trying to fake us out. Well, you know, these boilies are catching consistent fat crucians, which is nice. And eventually we switch this nightcrawler back to maggots. Peas are already going off. Another nice one on boilies. And peas have got a runner as well. The roaches come again. I don't know about 6. I mean, I guess it's fine. 6 might be a little big for peas. At that point, I don't know if that increases our trophy size or lowers our bite rate too much to when you're going for roach. All right. Try to catch one more fish here before we wrap this long episode up. But it's been fun. It's fun finding another spot that seems to be fairly active. You know, I don't know. Sometimes I think I'm possibly... Oh, these boilers are doing great, though. Sometimes I think I'm possibly thinking too much. I mean, that spot over there at camp was so good, but we didn't really fish there that much. And, you know, what if I was using these baits over there? Would the crucian gibbles and roach be even better? Like, that seemed like a really hot spot, you know? All right. So 5 crucians for 982. We only saw that one sleeper, didn't we? That's funny. We haven't been, mercifully, we haven't been catching. Oh, we got the common carp order. How about that, folks? That's pretty cool. We made some good silver. 939 plus 95 more. All right, so what's selling for the most? That bream, of course. Yeah, those big roach do all right. They add up. And then, of course, the crucian gibbles, they add up too. We just caught so many fish. We're up over 1,000 silver. And let's see. Remember, this is our... Oh, you know what I hear? I hear our bells going off. I left them in the water just in case we got another quick fish on. What do we have in still? Peas, that's probably what's going off, and night crawlers, I think. Hey, night crawlers, actually. It's an eyed. No, a little common carp, okay. Interesting. So, catch common carp here even without potatoes. Obviously now we've seen it off peas and night crawlers. Okay. So 1,035 silver and 250, that's 500. We only need about 500 more silver, and we at least can get the 2 express fishing. One thing I wanted to check is with these express fishing rods, do y'all agree that those are decent little starter trolling rods? I think they're going to be fine. But I was going to see what the test was. 40 gram. 40 gram. That's the weird part, right? Because that means what does that mean? That means we're not using spinners on it. Although we're trolling, could we let it like drift out? I don't know. It's going to be a lot of... I mean, once we get to the spoons... Wait. Hold on. How could it be 40 grams? Am I losing my mind here? That's limiting. That is not a good... That's because it's extra heavy? That at least starts at 10 grams. With a load capacity of 10. See, that test is much more what we were wanting, but the load capacity isn't there. 5.9 load capacity. I mean, what are rods that I've used in the past? Siberia Super Duty. Yeah, 25 grams where it starts. Or 14 grams. I mean, that's much more appropriate. Why are all these blue, by the way? That goes at 20 grams, 12 grams. It's a lot more expensive, though. So you really have to have light setups, huh? To fish with spinnerbaits efficiently. I mean, if it starts at 10 grams, then we could put big spinners on there. I don't know, guys. Help me out. It may be that my brain's just not working, but I'm struggling to figure this out. Maybe I need to get on my main account and see what it feels like to have a light spinner on a regular spinning reel. I mean, it's not going to break it. It's just not, you're not going to be able to cast it very far. But if you're trolling, does that matter that much? I was really thinking in my mind... So that's got a 10 gram test. But this only goes up to 6 kilo. I mean, we could make that work. Buy that and then buy one more rod to go with our other reel. That would probably be the cheapest way to kind of jump into it. We could almost afford that now. I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments if you're still watching this. Help me figure it out. Anyway, I'll do a little bit of digging, or try to. And I might try to get one more episode done tonight anyway. But thanks for watching. I will see you next time.